NBCNightly.com.
Surprising news today in the area of employment, specifically big jobs that are going begging. A big warning that we may have a shortage of pilots to keep up with the rapidly expanding airline industry. There's one estimate we're going to need 500,000 new pilots over the next 2 decades just to keep up with expanding passenger loads. Our report on this tonight from NBC's Tom Costello.
21-year-old Costas Savilis was born to fly, a flight instructor with 1,300 hours under his belt. He just graduated from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University and has already had 3 job offers. Only one problem. A new law means he can't fly commercial planes until he's 23.
Well, this has been my dream to become an airline pilot my whole life. And now that I am flying, that's all I'm going to do. And I'll go wherever I need to go to continue flying.
He should have no problem landing a job in the U.S. or overseas. Boeing is now forecasting 460,000 new pilots will be needed worldwide over the next 20 years, 69,000 in North America alone. Why so many? An expected flood of retiring pilots is one reason, and thousands of U.S. pilots are taking jobs overseas where pay is higher and demand is skyrocketing. 180,000 new pilots needed in Asia alone over the next 2 decades. U.S. military pilots are staying in the service longer, and for civilians, becoming a pilot isn't cheap.
Just paying for aeronautical school can leave new pilots with debts approaching $200,000, while the starting pay at a regional airline averages just $25,000.
We're going to have to address that problem and make sure that we're paying pilots appropriately so they'll be trained here in the U.S., be able to have a job in the U.S., and have a livable wage in the U.S.
Low pay and poor piloting were cited as factors in the Colgan air crash that killed 50 people in Buffalo in 2009. NBC News aviation analyst John Cox.
I'm really more concerned about the quantity and quality of pilots in the overseas markets, the growing, fast-growing markets, than I am the pilots in the U.S.
The coming challenge, attracting and keeping enough pilots like Costas Savilis who are willing to stay in the U.S. and do their flying here. Tom Costello, NBC News, Washington.
We're back in a moment with a spectacular